What's good, YouTube? Macex back with another video. Today we're going to be looking at Walter Football's top 10 offensive tackles. And as we know, the offensive tackle will always be the premium, more specifically the left tackle, but the tackles left and right are very imperative to the safety, in a sense, to the quarterback position, and you need really good offensive tackles. So we're looking at Walter Football's top 10. Of course, this is all projection. The 24 season hasn't even started, but if you're a nut like me, there's no such thing as a too early, and I love to speculate and take a look into the future. So before we get into that, definitely, if you haven't already, or if you're new to this channel, like and subscribe to this video. You doing so does help the channel grow, the YouTube algorithm, all that good stuff that you hear every YouTuber say. As a small YouTube channel, literally every like, every subscription helps me, and that allows others that love football just as yourself discover my channel. But enough with all that. We're going to look at Walter Football's top 10 offensive tackles and take a look at the scouting reports. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right, kicking things off with our number 10 ranked offensive tackle, and then we're going to work into the number 1 offensive tackle. And at number 10, we have Anthony Belton out of NC State, listed at 6'6", 336 pounds. Reading scouting reports, definitely had a good 23 season, helping his draft stock. Very realistic shot at the next level. Right now, he has an early day 2 to early day 3 type of projection. We'll definitely see how he pans out this year. Possesses a lot of skill, really big with size, like I said, 6'6", 340, and has some of that developmental projection at the next level, but has a lot of tools and traits that definitely transfer over to the NFL. Moving on to number 9, Walter Football rankings has Jonah Monheim out of USC. As what I've read on many scouting reports is that he has a lot of versatility, has played all over the line, has tackle experience, guard and center. Last year in 2023, primarily started at left tackle. Solid job overall. Looks like this year in 2024, he's going to be moving over to the interior, playing center, which right now, as well as at the next level, that's probably the more realistic and best fit for him, just based on his body type. It's just a better fit playing in the interior parts of the offensive line. The versatility and the experience, at the very least, at the next level, he'll be, a swing lineman, filling in injuries, things of that nature. At 6'5", 295 pounds, gaining a little bit more size, getting a little bit stronger, will definitely help him at the next level. Right now, even with that said, he's still projected as a day 2 pick, and I feel with that versatility, he can provide depth at multiple spots. And at number 7, from one Big Ten tackle, moving on to another newly Big Ten tackle at Oregon, that's Josh Connerly, listed at 6'4", 305. As I mentioned, Oregon Duck, now moving into the Big Ten. And Connerly's main niche is definitely pass protection. That's very natural for him. Started at left tackle last year in 2023 for Bo Nix, and only allowed 1 sack on the season. Show the quickness, athleticism to stay in front of those edge rushers and keep that clean pocket for that very efficient offense out there. And last year was his first year as a starter, so it's going to be interesting looking at him in the Big Ten, especially once he works on some of those physical traits, getting stronger, especially if he's going to hold up in the Big Ten and get more experience. But he's definitely one of those offensive tackles to keep your eye on. Coming in at number 6, we're going over to Arizona with the offensive tackle Jonah Savanea. He's listed at 6'5", 320 pounds. Savanea broke into the starting lineup 2 years ago at right tackle. Played pretty well for the Wildcats. Last year as a sophomore was even better. Honestly, the offense was just overall very explosive, and Jonah was a very big part of that. He's a quick blocker with athleticism, and he has very good agility on the edge. Gets to the second level with ease. A common theme for a lot of these tackles in this range is needing to improve lower body strength, leverages, and just overall becoming stronger if he's going to move defensive linemen at the next level at the point of attack. As a lot of linemen who struggle with strength and physicality, if he's not able to do so, he'll be limited to more of a zone scheme block. But just overall, he has a lot of upside. I can definitely see him at this point, just based on a lot of the scouting reports and a little bit of film that I've seen. Looks like like he could enter in the day one discussion, but we're just going to have to see how that offense looks in Arizona as a whole. All right, now we're moving into the top 5, and at number 5 we have Xavier Truce, offensive tackle out of Georgia, listed at 6'7", 320 pounds. Now Truce has experience all over the offensive line. It seems like Georgia has 1 to 2 offensive linemen that goes day one every year, and this year's no exception in all likelihood. Started at left guard. There were some injuries last year, and that allowed him to get some tackle experience, more specifically on the right side. Now, he wasn't bad playing on the edge. Just looking at a lot of scouting reports, it showed that he played pretty solid, but most likely at the next level, he's a better fit for the interior, which for me, I actually thought he looked pretty good on the edge. I mean, he has the length. He's 6'7", moves pretty good. He's a strong blocker, capable of playing on the outside as well as the inside. And honestly, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up being in 2024 and where he projects at the next level, if he'll be an interior or an outerior. As I've mentioned already, I think he looked good at right tackle, so I think Georgia's going to try him out on the right tackle, and we'll see how he looks in 2024. All right, we're at number 4 now. We're going to stay in the SEC. We're going to take a look at Emory Jones out of LSU, listed at 6'6", 322 pounds. And Emory Jones started pretty early in his career as a true freshman in the almighty SEC, as we like to call it. Very impressive start to his collegiate career, playing opposite of another guy that we're going to be talking about on this list. An offense that was very dynamic last year with Jaden Daniels. They amassed a very excellent season offensively and leading Jaden Daniels to the Heisman Trophy, if we're going to be honest. You know, he's a thick-built guy, but he's very athletic. I love how he moves. And also reading bios, I saw he does have a basketball background, and just from what I've seen, it makes sense. You can kind of see the athleticism, the footwork. He's a really good right tackle. I honestly see him as a left tackle, but his counterpart on the other side is one of the best left tackles that we've probably seen in the last year or two, honestly. So if we're going to be honest, he would be 99% of colleges would be a left tackle. So for me, I could very well see him projecting as a left tackle at the next level. He just happens to play with a really good left tackle that has that position on lock. So I'm expecting this tandem duo to lead another elite LSU offense, even with the quarterback change. And I still expect LSU to be must-watch TV offensively. And Emory Jones is going to play a big part of that. All right, now we're in the top 3 for WalterFootball.com, and we're going to take a look at Ernest Green out of Georgia. So we're going back to Georgia. 6'4", 320 pounds. Right now, he's projected as a day one pick. And last year, he started at left tackle and played very well. Has a really good build. Doesn't have the elite length and size like we've seen with a lot of top-rated Georgia Bulldog tackles over the years. But he makes that up with very good athleticism and strength. Moves very well. Can get second level. Really reliable last year and is a solid run blocker as well. Protected Carson Beck, who is the projected number 1 QB going into the 24 college season. I think Green could be even better in 2024 now that he has another year of starting experience out there in the SEC. Just overall, offensively, are projected to be very good. And I think they'll be right back into the mix as far as competing for another national championship like they did to start the decade. All right, at number 2, we're staying in the SEC, and we're looking at Kelvin Banks out of Texas, listed at 6'4", 320 pounds. A realistic top 10 projected pick. He's one of the best players in the entire class of 2025. Started at left tackle, had a really good season. He had an excellent game against Alabama last year in their upset victory, we could call it. Started pretty early in his career as well as a freshman. He's a good run blocker. Looked like a really good pass blocker in my opinion as well. Just a quality skill set. A lot of upside. I know looking at PFF, he was actually number 1 in the nation for big time blocks, and with all honesty, I see him as a realistic top 10 pick for next year. He's that special. Alright, and WalterFootball.com's #1 offensive tackle really is no surprise. #1, and that's Will Campbell out of LSU, listed at 6'6", 325 pounds. Started as a true freshman out of the gate, started 13 games as an 18-year-old in the SEC. Last year had an excellent year, protected the blind side of Jaden Daniels, and with it being a weak QB class, Will Campbell has legitimate chances of being the #1 pick in the draft next year after being a 3-year starter once he completes this season. Excellent run blocker, excellent pass blocker. He's that type of tackle that you put him in that position and he's going to shut it down and solidify it for the next decade. All right, there you have it. This is WalterFootball.com's top 10 offensive tackles that are projected for the 2025 NFL draft class. And as I said, this is the premium position. After quarterback, it's a debatable between offensive tackle and edge rushers. We got a few guys here that could realistically be the #1 or #2 pick in the draft next year. A lot of talented guys, and honestly, these guys get bigger every year and they get more athletic every year, and it's a scary combination. With the spread offenses, these big, huge guys can run around, play in space, get second level. It's just the evolution of the game is always fun to witness. And if you made it this far in the video, I deeply appreciate it. And if you haven't already, definitely, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this video, as this does help the channel grow. We got more videos coming. Can't wait for college football. I know you guys are college football fans as well. But I'll go ahead and let you guys go, and I'll see y'all in the next video.